Obviously, it was noticeable in training today that quite a few guys left for international duty. I know you stated you're a coach who's very open to that. So can you tell me, which I saw a few new faces, which crew two guys you might be calling up during this week with down a few guys?
Yes, we called three guys from the reserve team, but we like to do it also during the normal day, depending how many players do we need. That's why it's really important to have a structure like this and the flexibility also of Kelvin, because we called them at the last moment. And so yeah, it was good. It was good to have everyone, and really good spirit after 3 days off. It was good for the players to think about something else and to rest and to come back fresh. And this is what they did because it was a good session.
Which players do you have from the reserve team?
This is not important because I like to change. No, but because I like to change. So this is not important, the names. I like to change. You're going to come next week. Maybe I'm going to have other players. So this is not important.
I know you say that the game dictated putting Will in last Saturday, but how important going into a week where you're down a few guys that he got his footing even for a few minutes, that now he's gotten that experience?
You're talking about something?
Oh, Will Sands.
Will, listen, the most important was for him to come back on the pitch in a regular game, and this is what he did. And after that, it doesn't change. The intensity that we put during the practice. We try to put a mini complexity during the practice. So at the end of the day, he's going to be ready when I'm going to call him. So he knows that he has to enjoy the present moment. So this is what he did when he came in. And after that, we'll see when I'm going to use him and if he's going to start or not.
There's been talks about how well the team has handled pressure, handled presses this season already. So can you just talk about how you've seen it improve from last season in these first few games?
Listen, like I told you, I like to play against Red Bulls because the way they play, the way they press, and I think that we did a good game because we put doubt on the opposition because they wanted to press and we were able to come out of the press, and sometimes they wanted to stay, so we were able to keep the ball. So this is what I like. I like to see this evolution of the game that we have, depending what the opposition is going to give us. So this has been a really good game because of that. Not because we scored 3 goals, it is more because of the performance that we had during the game, this tactical flexibility that we had. So that's why I'm really proud of that. And it was good for the player also to play with a really good intensity team, knowing that we played 5 games in a row in 14 days, something like that. So I was impressed, but not in a pejorative way or in a negative way, more in a positive way. That I knew that we were able to do it, and they did it. So I was really pleased of that because, as you know, it was not easy to play. It was not easy, to play 5 games in 14 days.
Coach, you're going into bless you.
Thank you.
You're playing a Charlotte team that has sort of struggled so far this year, under a new head coach. What's the mentality? You were a new coach here last year. What's the mentality that you're teaching the team going up against a team that struggles?
Listen, we are all unique. So me, I'm gonna think something, and maybe the coach is gonna think something different. But what I know is they played 3 games in a row away, if I'm not mistaken. So they are waiting after us. So they are ready to play against us. I know that they want to do well. Again, it takes time, to put everything in place. So, but I know that they're gonna be ready against us. With a big crowd and a turf also as a pitch. So no, I expect a good game. I expect a big intensity. I expect like every game, there are no easy games. It's going to be a difficult game for us to play against them. And so we have 3 days to prepare the game, but I expect a really difficult game. Yes.
And how do you prepare for a game that's going to be in front of a crowd like Charlotte has, you know, the 25,000 plus that they can put in there in the stadium. How do you prepare the team for that?
I love it. My player knows that I love this kind of game because it's a good exercise to stay on the task, knowing that we're gonna have. When we played last year, it was a really good game because the energy was there. The their fans were pushing a lot, and that's why for me it's gonna be a game against 12 men. So the idea is. Again, to stay focused on us, knowing that we're gonna have to adjust certain things, and compete, and yeah, that's it. This is for me the only recipe.
And with all the players that's getting called up, how big is it having a utility player like Shaw?
Yeah, maybe he's gonna play goalkeeper. I don't know. No, listen, there is Sean, but there is also other players. So the idea is when we built the roster, the idea, we knew that we will have maybe a few players away. So that's why, like I told you, it's really important to have players who can play in different positions. So again, I'll see what I'm going to do, but I'm happy to have players who are able to play in different positions for sure.
And last one for me, Amundsen and Yeboah seem to have a great connection there with those long passes. Is that something that you guys work on the training pitch, or is that just something that those two, they see each other better on the field?
It's a really great question because our job as a staff and for me is to give them clear ideas, to give them clear structure. And yes, we've been working on that. But also, this is something that I cannot teach, the connection between players, the interaction between players. Our job is to put this environment for them to try to sort it out. So sometimes we did few exercises, it was not the same, but few exercises to transmit and to help them to get this connection between these two guys, but also between other guys. And after that, this is their job. Because I feel good, because I understand why we do what we do, that they're gonna try to, that they embrace what we do. And they do the extra stuff. And I do this job for that, because I cannot give all the answer. I don't have this power. My power is to give this platform, this structure, and to create this kind of interaction. And for me, this is the future of football. The future of football for me is not to be on position and to keep the ball and to pass to A, B, C. No. The idea is to get the structure, and within the structure to have players who's going to try things because they know that we have the good structure to attack or to defend. So that's why, because I feel that they are able to get this connection, they are able to get this many repetition by themselves. And this is something that I believe a lot. Because to create this uncertainty for the opposition, we need to get players to create things, or by doing things like this, or by moving all over the pitch at the right moment.
Thanks, Coach.
What is it like seeing that some of the players, like Malte, he hasn't even been here for a year technically, that they've been able to click already, and they're clicking within the system and structure that you've created. In a year is still a short amount of time.
Yes, because for me, yes, time is important, but I think clarity is better. So if you are able, and sometimes it's not easy as a coach to give clarity. In my mind, this is clear and obvious, but for them to transmit my message, it's not easy for them to understand. So that's why it's all about clarity, it's all about also profile, it's all about also repetition, but repetition without repetition. What does it mean is repetition in a different context, not the same situation. So for me, this is the key point, because sometimes you're going to repeat actions, but I don't believe too much on that. What I believe on is we're going to create a scenario to repeat this action, but also other actions. And after that, the player is going to have the platform and the concept in place, and they're gonna be able to adjust themselves and to try it. But Sheba can do it also. Steven can do it. He's been on the left side because we have Yao is a winger. This is not a wing back. He's an offensive player, but we can be able also to do it on the opposite side also. So it depends. But I like this kind of interaction between players.